Hi Virgo, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your October 31st full moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they are all listed in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let's clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from your body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as you enter into this safe and loving space. All right. Let's let the bowl sing as we move your Moonology and your Queen of the Moon cards over to the side. These will later be layered on top of the tarot to really give the moon a voice of her own during this time. So let's see what the tarot has to say. How will Virgo be affected by the October 31st, 2020 full moon? How will Virgo be affected by the October 31st, 2020 full moon? How will Virgo be affected by the October 31st, 2020 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Ooh, goodness. Angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. Okay. Now, it did feel here when we were doing the singing bowl, and while the singing bowl was singing, there was a sense of like things at times getting really on edge. And I really feel this is from the Mercury retrograde that we're coming to the end of during this full moon. And as you're looking at your rooted self, as you're looking at what it is that you desire as an earth sign energy, the power of this earth sign energy moon, because this full moon is in Taurus, is really going to be calling to you to kind of set down the roots that you want, embrace the prosperity that you desire, look at things, and at times you can feel almost in conflict with where you want to be and the information and the chaos of the world around you. So just know that it's kind of going to be, it's going to be like grating on your nerves, like making your shoulders really, really tight is what I'm seeing here. So if you can relax, if you can, if you can release that tension, even if you use like a TENS machine or something like that, and you put it on your shoulders to kind of like get a little bit of a massage, because I know now the world is crazy. So if you could do that, or just use one of those like, back massagers or something to just loosen up your shoulders and really let your energy flow through you, that's going to be so absolutely helpful for you. Or also have a glass of lavender tea if you're not allergic, of course. So let's see here. Oh, we start off with the 10 of Pentacles in your inner self, and you have the King of Pentacles. I love this beginning right here. Is fantastic. Oh, goodness. The left-hand side, this is your inner self. The middle is your heart, your emotional self, and the right-hand side is the public arena, the public self. Do apologize for jumping ahead, just too excited. This moon is so cool. It hasn't been seen in 19 years, and it is just amazing. And I will go through everything in just a moment. Oh, you have the Nine of Swords. Okay, so there's this beauty, there's prosperity, and then there's this sense of nightmares and doubts and fears and anger coming forward. It's like, I don't deserve this. I don't get to have nice things type of energy, or a worrying that, I'm just waiting for the next shoe to drop. I'm just waiting for everything to fall apart. It always falls apart. It'll happen. Don't worry. And yet you're getting a gift from the Ace of Wands of God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing you a gift of passion, of prosperity. You have you shining through as a king. All right, here with the King of Pentacles, claiming of your throne, knowing of your power, putting the crown on your head and saying, this is where I stand and this is how I move forward. So it's very interesting that you have such tremendous doubt coming in, because this can rob all the blessings. Then we have the Three of Swords, all right, crowning you here in the emotional arena. There's doubts, there's fears, there's the mind. It can be the mind becoming a bit too much. You know how we can focus on things that nobody else sees, like nobody else even realizes it. But once we get it kind of like under our skin, it's so much more intense. And people will be like, well, just let it go. Like, it's no big deal. But it's a big deal to us. There's something here from the past, hurts, pains, disappointments, that need to be addressed, because it's a big deal for you, Virgo. And then we have the Empress. We have the beauty, the prosperity, the sense of creative energy just being absolutely around you. And then you have the Sun, gorgeousness shining through, the happiest card in the whole entire deck. And then we have the Devil, which is breaking free of chains that hold us back, looking at addictions that could have plagued us for so long, and saying, I'm not perpetuating, I'm not continuing those patterns. I'm entering into my power. You have the Strength card right here. Can be a love-hate relationship with a Leo going on during this time, but also with your own strength, with your own way forward. So just be mindful of that, okay? Yeah. There can also be great prosperity, but great doubt that's coming in around embracing your own personal strength, or around a Leo energy that is around you. This is a time frame of July 23rd to August 22nd. But there's tremendous strength here as you move forward, as you embrace this air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, which amplifies the full moon in Gemini on the 30th of November. You're going to see your ships moving forward, most definitely. And the Six of Wands, it's like learning how to celebrate yourself, learning how to embrace your power. So it's like you suffer in silence during this time. And it's not saying that this time is a suffering time at all, because it's brilliant. I mean, you're moving forward, moving after your passion, this brilliance that divinity is holding for you. We'll see at the end if you take this gift. But even if this is just something where you're sitting there, you're seeing the way life can move forward for you, the way brilliance can become a part of you, the way that you can become so much more than you had anticipated. Even if this is just kind of like the carrot being dangled in front of our face to say, let's move forward. I mean, that's brilliant, because you will get there. You will get to the part where you will get to the point in your life where you get to hold that wand, where you get to embrace that magic, where you get to have that success guiding you forward. And this is definitely saying it, but there's these heartbreaks that, definitely around the new moon period need to be addressed, and will be addressed also through Samhain, through Halloween, that happens in correlation with this full moon. So this full moon is not only, a Taurus full moon, which is awesome because it is the most solid and the most sensual of the moons, but it's also a blue moon, and it happens on Halloween, it happens on Samhain. So the veil between our world and the spirit world is the thinnest. We have the blue moon having us believe in the impossible, believe in embracing our power. So here, with the Taurus full moon, it says your dreams and I do apologize. Your dreams need a practical plan, but also your dreams and your need practicality. It's like you need for your dreams to move forward. That's what Spirit is saying here. And there's such an excitement to you. I have such this like energized, focused, like let's just keep going. And it can it's a focused energy, but it can kind of jump over things just a little bit, not look at things as closely as you need to. And now that I address that, I feel much calmer. So there is a sense of needing to address that energy where you want to move forward with the Knight of Swords. It's like you want to move forward with great speed, with great determination, with great focus, because you believe in your dreams. But also this is a time to believe in the impossible. And it's almost as if there is a fear that if I don't do it now, I'll never do it. If I don't get there now, I'll never get there. If I don't have this, I'll never have it. And it's like, okay, it's fair. It's fair to fear that because there's something here that's like waiting for the next shoe to drop, waiting for things to fall apart. It has already been so hard. What makes us even think that things will ever be easy? And that's fair. That's fair to say. But during this moon, you are looking at building a solid foundation. You're looking at what you need. And you're not in a hurry to change things. Right? Because Taurus energy is kind of like wrapping yourself in a nice cozy blanket and sitting in front of the fire drinking tea. That's the type of energy that this Taurus full moon brings us. It's just cozy warmth and contentment and looking at the world and saying, not now, not now. I just need to embrace my life, myself, my soul, the pleasures within my life, be them small or be them astoundingly large. And this is actually a time where you're much more inclined to be drawn towards the smaller pleasures, towards the smaller things that give you comfort and that can always be with you. And so with the full moon in Taurus, you're building that solid foundation. You're not in a hurry to change things, but you are in a hurry to kind of have your life be comfortable, be contented, and be solid around you. And that's a really powerful thing for you during this time. And as you're moving forward in this power, with the blue moon, you're cultivating your patience to build what you want from your life. And as you do so, you're stepping back and you're looking at things differently. And you're taking your time. It's like, okay, Rome wasn't built in a day and it didn't fall in a day. So great things that happen that really impact us, whether they be great in the sense of, wow, that was wonderful, or great like, wow, I will never forget that. They don't happen overnight, or at least they usually don't. And so here, there is this sense of needing to release what no longer serves you. As, the power of Samhain, the power of Halloween comes forward. You are releasing what no longer serves you. You are releasing what no longer moves you forward. And you're connecting with ancestral power. And that's going to be very powerful for you to connect with a greater truth, to connect with greater roots. And as that brings you forward, it can bring your emotions into turmoil because it's like, am I moving forward the right way? Do I know what it is that I want? Am I embracing my power, or is this a mistake? And so here you're asking yourself those questions, and you are finding that as you surrender to the divine, as you sit in meditation, this would be a fantastic time for you, Virgo, to embrace, that beautiful hermit mentality that you have and say, I'm going to ground. I'm connecting with my ancestors. I'm connecting with my passion. I'm connecting with what I desire from life, and I will not be held back. And as you do this, you embrace you. You embrace you. You surrender to the divine, and you find that you are really stepping into your power, into your element as you move forward. So this ancestral connection, this beautiful grace that guides you, is really empowering you in a way that you hadn't anticipated. And it leads you on the 15th of November to working through a lot of the fears that hold you back. Now, this doesn't mean that the fears are gone. It means that it says here, work through your fears because it's time for beginnings. Look through your subconscious mind, or it can even be journaling it out, like writing it out, and looking at the heart of things that hold you back, that keep you afraid, that say, I can't do this. They have you questioning yourself, questioning your voice, questioning your understanding. And it brings heartbreak. It brings up heartbreak that is so painful that we keep it on a shelf, in a box, locked away. And we say, oh no, I can't possibly face that. And this is a time with this ancestral connection, okay? Because there is somebody watching over you. There is somebody watching over you, Virgo, who has passed. Yeah. Heartbreak. So it doesn't have to be somebody that you know. Okay, so do be aware of that. There's a mother figure here, most definitely, because of the Empress. And there's a heartbreak around this mother figure. And it is our strength to embrace the creativity of love and to move forward in our truth during this time, to claim our throne. Because that's the strength that they want us to have, and to break the ties of what this world says that we should want, and to sit there and say, but this is me. This is who I am. And as we face our fears in November, on November 15th, as Scorpio calls us to kind of get out of our comfort zone and to sit there and say, I'm not small, I'm not helpless, I'm not defeated. I am more powerful than even I realize. It brings us to beginnings. It brings us to beginnings that felt insurmountable at times, that you never thought could be a beginning because it was so out of the realm of comfort. And as you embrace these beginnings, you have a new start. It's kind of like you're embracing the silence. And the silence suits you very, very well, Virgo. Even though in our culture, in our world, we don't like silence. We always have noise. We always either are talking to somebody or have the music on, have the radio on, have the television on, have earbuds in our ears. We always have something. And it's like, no, now is the time to embrace silence and to let that silence move us forward. And as we do so, and as we have that reflective power, come November 30th, answers you need are coming. And with the full moon in Gemini, which is where the full moon is, on November 30th, is this also a full moon eclipse, a lunar eclipse. So conclusions are within reach. Conclusions are within reach as the answers you need are coming. There's something more that you're seeing here, and you're setting up the foundation to be able to receive it, to know that your dreams need a practical plan, to sit there and say, listen, I cannot be floundering anymore. I don't accept it of myself to be floundering within my heart, within my soul, within what I desire. Because there's one day left for us in October, right? And so there's one day that the spirit animals of October have this power that guide us forward. And I love the duality of the crow spirit and the dove spirit. The crow spirit makes us think of carnage. It does. The crow spirit, when you have a flock of crows, they're called a murder of crows. So the crow spirit to be paired with the dove spirit who brings forward peace and is, part of the imagery that we give to them of peace, part of the collective knowledge that we give to doves. To have these two animals together seems so contrary. But this is what the time is for you, especially on Halloween. On Samhain, there is a sense of needing to embrace the light and the dark. What was once considered, or what is considered taboo. A crow is astoundingly smart. A raven is beyond the realms of smart. Ravens are smarter than parrots are. They can learn more words. They are absolutely brilliant. And yet you don't see people walking around with pet ravens. You see people walking around with pet parrots. So there is this beauty here in something that can be so overlooked, but also so reviled at times, because it brings up a cellular memory. Crows and ravens, they flocked over battlefields. They ate the dead, the carnage that we brought unto ourselves. And there is nothing peaceful about that. But it is a bird of change. Here it says, co-create with spirit. Know that there is more than what you are seeing. It is time to co-create with spirit. This brings forward change and sacred law and trusting in your personal integrity and intuition. There's power within you. There's power within the darkness. There's power within the part of ourselves that we want to keep on the shelves and say, oh no, I could never. It's just like there's power in that hurt that we keep there to remind us that we don't get to have the pretty things. That's a lie. That's a lie to keep us small, to keep us chained, to keep us denying what is rightfully ours. And as you spread your wings, you speak your truth. Because speaking your truth is better than bottling it in. And it's better than speaking somebody else's truth, no matter how forcefully they say it. And as you speak your truth, you go through a personal transformation, and it brings messages. It brings messages to you that need to be heard. And it brings you peace. Be peace. Be the peace you want to see in the world. Yes, but also understand the monster that lives within every single human being. Because that's power. It's ignorance to think there isn't that within us. And so, as we embrace peace, This is when the dove brings us messages of peace and of hope, especially when we're hurting, and who isn't hurting in this world right now? And as we start to heal, there's gentle compassion that comes with the dove spirit. And it releases us from the pain that is holding us back, as does the new moon. As does the new moon, but also as does the blue moon, and as does Halloween, Samhain. There's a power here that was holding us back, that is no longer getting to have that right. And that's where the spirit animals of November come in, and they're powerful because they're healing, especially the snake spirit. It says here, time to heal. And then we have the electric eel spirit, which is just simply the eel spirit for November. And it says, bring your ideas to life. Because you're healing, it is now time. But because you're healing, you're going to feel vulnerable. And you're looking at the serpent, if you're like me, and you're like, oh, it's so interesting that the serpent says to be healing. And the serpent spirit animal brings healing opportunities. It brings change, which we can be very uncomfortable with, just as we're uncomfortable with the change that the crow can bring. The crow can bring as we move forward. It's like, well, do I want this change? We want things to be comfortable. We want things to be routine. We want things to be cozy during the full moon in Taurus. But we also know that to have that solid foundation, we have to look outside of our comfort zone. So we have this little bit of a war within us. And because you are an earth sign energy, Virgo, because you have, Capricorn right here represented by the devil, and you have Taurus right here as the full moon, you are surrounded with earth sign energies. You're surrounded with this desire to put down roots, to build, to manifest, to create something solid and more comprehensive than what you had before. And that's going to be very powerful for you. That's going to be a way that you really want to move forward during this time in a powerful, stabilizing healing. Let me just move this for just a second. Okay, so you can see better. Cool. All right, so we move to the snake spirit. And the snake spirit has this duality when we look at it. So yes, it brings forward healing opportunities and change that we can be resisting, but we need. But it also brings forward transition as we shed a skin, as we release an old self and we embrace the new, which is never comfortable for anybody. But it's never comfortable for us when we are transforming. And when a snake is transforming, when a snake is shedding their skin, they don't see as well. So they're much more prone to kind of lashing out because they have to protect themselves. So we might find ourselves transforming, healing, but being much more ready to lash out at things because we're not seeing the whole picture clearly. We're very focused on, yes, our dreams need practical plans. We're very focused on the solid foundation that we are building. We're very focused on the way that we're seeing things, but we're not focused on the fact that we could be missing a bigger picture. So do be mindful of that during this time, Virgo, for you, indefinitely. Yeah, definitely during this time. And the two images that we have of the snake that are really coming to mind during this full moon are the healing image of the two snakes intertwined on the staff that represents healing. And I believe that's called the Asclepion. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. And then we have the serpent that tempts us away and brought about the fall of man. So when we have that, we have healing and we have falling. And that's what it feels like a lot of times when we're healing, when we're really embracing our power. And that's really quite true for you here, Virgo, as you're moving forward, that you're healing and you're embracing something magnificent, but it feels like you're falling at times. It feels like you're free falling. It feels like you will never get there. It's an insurmountable task. Don't doubt you, because the knowledge that shows that paradise does end, that, life brings forward suffering. It isn't bad knowledge. It just simply isn't. But it's the knowledge that we don't want to see. It's the knowledge of us coming out of childhood and embracing the responsibilities, the burdens, the horrors that come with being an adult. And I know that's not maybe a popular way to see it, but it's the way Spirit is showing it right now. And then we have the electric eel spirit, which says, bring your ideas to life. Let them be electrified through you. Because this is a spirit that has us embracing emotions, that has us embracing our strength, and has us having foresight for the future. And again, you're going to get so excited that it's like you stumble over your words to try and get them out. And there can be this sense of Am I saying this right? Am I moving forward the right way? There's a strength in you. You're going to question that strength a lot. Stop. Because here you're embracing your happily ever after. You know, the 10 of Pentacles. Prosperity, wealth, beauty. It's wealth that lasts for generations. It's like, yes, I've made it. Now, when we think of this, I always think of winning the jackpot in the lottery. And that would be awesome, right? But it's not likely. I mean, it would be awesome if it happened and well done if it does. But it doesn't mean that it has to. This is prosperity that lasts for generations. This can be a prosperity of the soul, of the heart, of the passion, of the power, of the beauty, of the truth. And you living that passionate power, that beautiful truth, brings prosperity to generations to come, to the people that you impact with your life. And it plants seeds of richness within theirs. This is wealth or something you value as much as money coming forward. This is prosperity guiding you. This is something more coming. It's an end of a cycle financially. It is looking at things and it's like, oh, wow. Or it's an ending of a cycle of what you had thought wealth was and what you know true prosperity to be now. There's something more here. And you're sitting on your throne, Virgo. You're putting that crown on your head. And you're saying, this is my prosperity. This is my wealth. You're seeing things interconnecting in ways that you hadn't before. You're seeing yourself moving forward in ways that you hadn't before. And it's like, this is what I want. This is what I need. This is where I want to be within my life. We want to be kings. And yet, at times we resent the burdens that are put on us when we are kings. And so here, it's taking up that mantle. It's holding to that truth. It's embracing what we desire. And as you do so, there's such tremendous strength to you. And it can all be undermined by the doubt that comes in, by the questioning, by the chaos, by sleepless nights, by sitting there. And it can't even be, it can't even be that there's just so much hurt that needs to be addressed around a healing, around loving arms being around you, around a sense of knowing that you are worth wearing that crown, of embracing that beauty, of having that prosperity be a part of your life, and not being held back by the sins of the past, by the hurts, the pains, the disappointments of the past. Sins is a rather intense word, but there's a sense here of embracing a beauty for you. And yeah, there's going to be questioning. Questioning is good. And yet questioning can drive us up and down the Mississippi, right? Because it makes us not know always where to stand. And I can see this side of the story and I can see that side of the story and I don't know where the truth lies. Everybody has a valid point. And so I don't know where I stand. This is looking at your passion, at your prosperity, at your brilliance, at your desire to move forward. And saying, I stand within my truth. I stand within my power. I stand within my grace. And there may be sleepless nights, worry, doubt, and fear. There can be that you're working so hard on something where it's like, I'll take care of me later. Take care of you now. Because there's a gift that's coming to you that can easily be overlooked because I don't have you taking it. It doesn't mean that you don't take it at all, okay? It means that the cards don't show that you do, right? So this is a gift from God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing you a gift of passion, of creativity, of power, and of brilliance, okay? This is the reason for getting out of bed in the morning. And yes, you might be taking it in your subconscious message, and we'll have to see at the end. But I don't have a court card with the wand in their hands. I don't have the magician with the wand in their hands. So here, it's like this gift is coming, but there's worry that can run it away. It's like, what if I make a mistake? What if you do? And yes, the worst that can happen is that everything falls apart, right? And we can go to worst case scenarios, which are terrifying. Stop. Stop terrifying yourself. Do your best. Plan, but we cannot plan for everything. Embrace your passion. Embrace your brilliance. Embrace your prosperity. Shine brightly with that light and move forward in that bountiful truth, because there is heartbreak that is trying to drown you. And there is a connection here with a with a loving energy. It doesn't have to be it's a motherly energy that I'm seeing here, most definitely. But it's a creative energy. It's a passionate energy. So it's coming through, yes, as the Empress. It's coming through as predominantly female. It doesn't mean that it has to be. It means that the energy that is being projected here is a very loving, caring, nurturing energy. Be a pain over loss. Know that person is with you, especially during this Halloween, especially as the veil is the thinnest. It's looking at pains and hurts, and there can be a questioning of how do I move forward? How do I create? How do I cultivate? It's not hiding away. It's looking at the pains, the hurts, the disappointments, the angers, the upsets, the upheavals, and saying, I see you. I see you. And I see how you're robbing me of my voice. I see how you're holding me back. I see what you are taking. And I'm done giving it to you to take. You don't get to make me feel like crap. You don't get to take away everything that I've worked so hard for. I am cultivating and nurturing this energy within me. And I am bringing it forward. I am loved and I am cherished. And if you sit there and you say it and you go, whoa, wait, I'm not. You are loved and you are cherished by the angels that surround you, by the spirit guides that hold your hands, by divinity that crafted you. You are. And the hurts and the pains and the disappointments and the vile words that people say to rip us down and tear us apart. You know, you have 2 3s right here. So you have divinity being a very powerful part of your heart right now. And you're looking at contrasting imagery. Hurt, pains, crying blood, which is what people do when they are super afraid. They also sweat blood. How do I move forward? Where do I get to be? What do I desire from life? And there can be a fear that feels paralyzing. It feels like you want to run away. But there's something beautiful being created during this time. And that here, that releases so much of the anger. That here is powerful. It's moving you towards love. It's moving you towards happiness. It's moving you towards this radiance that, yes, people will take my eyes and say, oh, okay, Virgo, you don't get to have this. I want it. So it does breed forth jealousy, most definitely. But those are for the people that come from lack. And yes, a lot of our world comes from lack. If you have it, then I can't have it. And I want it type of deal. And this is like, no, you don't get to take away my brilliance. This shines within your heart. This warms you inside out. And you embrace it. And you shine with this light. And you break the chains. Now, it can be of a Capricorn energy. Okay? It can be of addictions. Of coping mechanisms that are actually harmful to us. Now, this could be drugs and alcohol and, gambling. This could be sex and food and shopping. Okay? Things that give us a momentary high. And it's like, wow, that was awesome. But then it wasn't. Then that high goes away and it's like, oh man, now it stinks. We're looking at what keeps us tethered to even a world that we don't want to be a part of. And it doesn't mean not being a part of this world. I don't mean that at all. I mean the petty games, the anger, the upsets, the I'm going to yell louder than you. I get to have my voice and my say and you don't. And you're looking at it and it's like, I don't want that. I don't want this anger. I don't want this upset. I don't want this upheaval. I don't need to feel, crummier about myself. Thank you very much. It can also be the feeling of not fitting in. And thinking, okay, if I just tweak like this, then I'll fit in. If I just tweak this a little bit, I'll fit in. And it's letting yourself be changed. And it's letting yourself be chained. And you're done. You really are done, Virgo. And it's like, no. I get to embrace a grace, a beauty, and a brilliance that is a part of me. That is powerful, that is amazing, and that is spiritually rewarding. For my spirit, it lets it grow. And if you've stumbled across this channel, you're not like everybody else. You're just not. Because here, we talk about the soul and the self and spirit and creation and power and grace. And that's what you're embracing. And it moves you to really having strength to overcome the heartbreak and to embrace the prosperity that lasts for generations, to call the wealth forward in your life and to say, I earned this, I claim it, it gets to be a part of me. And as you embrace this, okay, you see that strength isn't brute force strength. You don't want brute force strength, okay? I think of Humpty Dumpty, right? All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. That's because they were using the wrong tools. You can't fix what is broken through strength, through sheer, absolute determination. If it's fallen apart, then it needs a gentle hand. If it's cracked and it's shattered, it needs a healer. And it is time to call that healing into our lives. And that is where our strength comes from. Strength of compassion, strength of brilliance of understanding, strength of power of will, strength of, stubborn determination, but strength of love, coming from that compassionate, brilliant place. And it moves you. It moves you to the Knight of Swords. It moves you to moving forward, and you want to move forward in this kind of, terrible, fierce energy of, I have to get it done now, or else it's all going to fall apart, and then I won't be there, and then what will happen, and oh my goodness. It's like, no. This is cutting through the doubts and the fears that hold us back. This is being the hero of our story, the white knight in, the Sleeping Beauty tale. It is slaying the dragon. The dragon is the serpent of the mind that guards our treasure, that takes it away, that says, no, this is what I get, and this is what you don't. And so we slay that demon. We slay that dragon, and we take our treasure back. We cut through what we most want to not see. And we say, I claim my passion, my brilliance, my truth, and my desire. I will not be held back. I will be rewarded through the knowledge that I obtain. And as you embrace this, you have the Three of Wands. You start moving forward. You start going after what you want. You start seeing that it's not as terrifying as you thought it was going to be. And you can embrace a brave new world. You can move forward in a way that you hadn't expected, that you hadn't anticipated, and you thought, oh wow, this is big. But it's not for me. And now it's like, oh yeah, it is. It is for me. It is part of me. And as you embrace that, you start to celebrate you. You start to celebrate you as you move forward. You start to celebrate you as new power comes in. And it's kind of like with the Six of Wands. It's like, what type of boss are you going to be rooted with? Okay? What type of soil do you have? Because the boss that is the one that lifts us up, that says well done, that compliments us, that, shows us, beauty and compassion and power and understanding. That's a boss we work for. That's a boss that helps us grow. The boss that denies us, that, sits there and yells and screams at us, that makes us feel horrible, that makes us feel angry and upset and just downtrodden. That's the boss that we don't grow with. That's a soil that holds no nutrients. And so here, it's like, who are you going to be for you? What type of boss are you going to be to your spiritual, powerful self? Because you're moving towards something big. And because there is doubt and there is fear, because there's anger and there's upset, and there have been upheavals and pains and disappointments and angers and just, it's been life. And you're sensitive. You're the type of person who wants to take on more, who wants to heal, who wants to connect. And you're going to take this on and say, it's my fault. I deserve it. And that's not a practical plan for your dreams, to say, it's my fault. I deserve it. I deserve to be small. I deserve to be silent. I deserve to sacrifice myself for everybody else. It's like, no, I deserve to stand at my throne with my crown on my head, to claim my throne and to walk in prosperity, to create and to cultivate and to slay the dragons and claim the treasure. That's what we're born for. And let's see what Luna has to say. How will Virgo be affected by the October 31st, 2020 full moon? How will Virgo be affected by the October 31st, 2020 full moon? How will Virgo be affected by the October 31st, 2020 full moon? Angels, and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels, oh goodness, of course, and spirit guides. So, that's interesting. These ones is what spirit is saying. And these three on the side. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, we'll go with that. That's a lot. But let's see. And let's see what how will Virgo be affected by the October 31st, 2020 full moon? How will Virgo be affected by the October 31st, 2020 full moon? How will Virgo be affected by the October 31st, 2020 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Awesome. Okay, so we're starting here with void, action, and darkness reversed. Okay, interesting. This leads us to surrender reversed. It's like we want to fight. Balance, spiritual, and the practical. Your commitment is being tested. Oh, that makes sense. It leads us to communication. A fiery climax approaches. You are good enough. It leads you to ending in the full moon in Virgo, which is awesome. Now, these are showing blockages here from peace, creation, and acceptance. And this is of the self. This is of the self. You're blocked with accepting peace, creation, and acceptance. Okay? So we're looking at this moon. And as we're embracing prosperity, okay, we have the void coming in. We need to embrace the darkness. We need to embrace the quiet. And it leads us then to needing to take action against the nightmares, against the hurts, the pains, the disappointments as we move forward. And as we have these blessings come in, it's saying that we are, you see, through the light that is shining through this moon eclipse. It's like we are that light that still seeps through. We have a brilliance that shines even in our darkest hours. And that's this passion that you're being told here. Take it and run with it, because there is a need not to surrender to heartbreak and pain and disappointment, okay? But to surrender to love and creation, to power, to grace. And that leads us to a balancing of spirituality and practicality. And I do apologize if you guys can hear my nephew. So here, there is this loving energy that's coming forward. There is this brilliance, this happiness, this power that is radiating within you. And it shines forward as you balance the spiritual with the practical. And you might think, what the heck use is that? But your commitment is being tested. Your commitment to what you truly want and to breaking the ties that hold you back is being tested. And as it is being tested, you're going to have a very strong connection to the Gemini full moon. And it's saying here, communication is key. As you embrace your strength and as you slay dragons, it's like communicate what it is that you truly want. Communicate where it is that you truly want to be. Because there is a fiery climax approaching as you set sail. It's like this is your passion coming to a head. This is your brilliance, your understanding. And it's an eruption, like a volcano, like an eruption of this passion, this desire, this brilliance, this truth that can hit you all at once. And you can think, oh my goodness, what do I do with all this energy? And it's reminding yourself, you are good enough. You are good enough to take it in. This is the full moon in Virgo. This is you. You are good enough to take it in. You are good enough to wear that crown. You are good enough. And there is something, and this is when you start to celebrate yourself. It's like, be that boss. Be that rich, nutrient-filled soil that the plant can grow in, instead of that soil that is just sand and rot. You are good enough. And it feels contrite to say, it feels like not enough to say, and yet it feels also at times too much. Oh, you're enough, so you never have to strive. Oh, you're enough, and it feels condescending at times. And when I first heard this, and when I first started to say this, I raged against it. I did. I thought, I'm not enough. I'm not even close to being enough. There's so much more that needs to be here within me. There's so many failures that happen. Hurts and heartbreaks and pains and disappointments and despairs. How can that possibly be enough? But you are enough, Virgo. Because if you think, I am so broken, that I can't carry the burden that I have to carry, the burden that comes from living. If you say that to yourself, you won't carry it. You'll fall, you'll flounder, you'll fail. But if you look you dead in the eye and look in your mirror and say this, I am enough. I can rise from here. I can be empowered from here. I was not made to fall and fail. I was made to rise and succeed. I am enough. And that is where you face the blockage of peace, of creativity, of creation, of the creation of your peace, but also the creation of what you desire and of the acceptance of who you are and where you're heading. These all get turned around once you accept it. Once you accept that you are enough, the peace comes, the creation comes for what you desire, and the acceptance of who you were, who you are, and who you will be becomes a part of you. Just as you surrender then to the darkness, you surrender to the not having to know, to there being something so much greater out there that we connect to and that we need to connect to as individuals. Your subconscious message from Luna, from the moon, is balance. Balance comes, and balance is needed as it's time to take action. You can't take action if you're out of balance with yourself. You have strong Aries presence within this reading. And then as we go deeper and we look at your subconscious, from the tarot, it is the Page of Cups. It is being a student of your heart, of your passion, of what you desire. It's being anointed. It's asking questions. It's going deeper into your heart, into where you stand, what you stand for, what you desire, and what you love. Oh, wow. Virgo, this is intense. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. This moon is powerful. I love you all, and be safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy, as we face with stubbornness, determination, and a surety of self, the power and the brilliance to move forward, the determination of our will, and the love within our hearts, as we plant ourselves in the rich soil of acceptance, compassion, creation, and peace, because we are worthy of wearing our crown, of claiming our throne, and being truth. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May it move forward in peace and in harmony, Virgo.